So during the cooldown, the row machine will be used. But before that, praise the client to reinforce the hard work, ready for a potential next session. Make them leave on a positive note. Row machine, on level 6 for 5 minutes. Focus on bringing the arms down up to the chest. As we're focusing on mainly those muscles in the session. By lowering the intensity slightly, we are reducing the heart rate whilst maintaining a heart rate of around 40 to 50% heart rate max to allow the removal of waste products of exercise such as CO2 and lactic acid to be removed from the muscles. Thanks to Cassie's exchange, use static passive stretching, like against the wall, to stretch the anterior deltoid. Plus, it's a cool down physically, prepares the body for rest and mentally, as it's calming. At the end of the session, I'll recap on the session, give a plenary to remind them of what they have achieved. As recognition, will encourage them to partake in the further 6 weeks of the training program. At the end of the session, I'll ask if they have any queries or problems regarding the session. I'll listen to feedback, as this may affect the next shoulder session during the 6-week training program, as I might have to increase or decrease the intensity or even taper training, as they may be training for a specific event. So here's my session image again. I'll just reflect on what the client said. So they said the client said need to work on assertiveness, and they felt that the breaks were too long. And the observer said that I had referenced notes quite a lot. Feedback needs to be continuous. And there was glimmers of personality. It was quite straight-faced. Some of the areas of improvement was assertiveness was an area that I need to improve on, as during the session I could see variations in the form of the performer. They dropped from the start, and I need to refer to the and recorrect the technique during the session and during the exercise. The lack of assertiveness could have resulted in injury for the performer. For example, when I did this in the battle ropes, when the client wasn't bending the knees and was wriggling the back to make the ropes move, this was putting pressure on the lumbar. Now, personality did not come through as much into the training session as a result of nerves or awkwardness, but it made the training session feel awkward and unrewarding for the client. This could have prevented communication between the client and the performer, so they weren't getting the most out of it. The strength was the validity of the session was accurate, and all exercises were relevant to the aims of the session. The client used 10 reps for each exercise, in the range from muscle mass, anything higher than 12 for toning, and anything below 8 focusing on the strength of the muscles. If we go on to the strengths and development live writing program, we'll see that the session layout regarding the order of activities were poor, in the way that they weren't in structure progression. They are out of order. It didn't help that I forgot the dynamic stretching prior to the battle ropes. It resulted in me having to do the battle ropes first and then stretching after, which is not ideal, as it could result in injury. And the fatigue will come on quicker. Another area to improve on would be regarding the writing of the program, with their intervals. Workouts and sets were too long, and they were quite generous. Ideally, the performer should have a selection of weight whereby they are working maximally for the full 10 reps and then have 3 minutes to recover between sets to allow glycogen stores to be replenished. Although the performer in question selected a lighter weight and therefore intensity was less effective. The cooldown, you need to be more relevant to the session and have some kind of feeling at the end regarding the session and how it went for the performer and the trainer. I did not isolate the arms on the rowing machine well enough for the performer, so in hindsight I would have straight-legged rows and a higher intensity. This will therefore delay DOMs and improve recovery time between sessions. Although on the good side, each exercise was specific, related to the overall aim of the training session and isolated different muscles within the deltoids. It's progressed well, tight muscles, with the single muscles like the side raises, and then moved into more activities like Arnold press, which manipulated the deltoids and recruited the fixator muscles to help stabilise the movement.